Hi, so this video will be to illustrate the various blades for the functionality of the Shiftleft framework, which is the checkpoint CloudGuard uh, framework to do DevSecOps security with the static code analysis for both source code and container images, or any type of code for that matter, as well as uh, posture management, security posture management for Terraform configuration file, okay, using HCL code. So here I have created I'm using Jenkins for the CI server. I want to illustrate the integration of Shiftleft with CI/CD. It actually integrates with any CI/CD server or any CI server like Jenkins or AWS Code Pipeline or GitLab or Bamboo, whatever it is. So we use either a container, the Shiftleft container that you can use as an agent, or you could basically just use the binary, the bin. That is, it's a Go binary. That is, there's only one binary that you could basically install with any CI server as a CLI plugin. Okay, so let's have a look at our. I do have a repository here. Let's have a look at our pipeline. Essentially, it have four stages. The first stage is to check out all the files, which are the source code for our Node.js application that we're using for the demo, as well as the Docker file that I'll be used to build a container image for this Node.js application. Then I'll scan. Obviously, I'll scan the source code here, and I'll scan the source code again when the Docker image is built. Okay, and then we'll do some Terraform security posture management to check the security of the configuration of the Terraform configuration file. All right. All right, so let's illustrate. The Node.js is pretty simple. It's just a web server that returns a message once you go to the local IP address and this 8000 port. Okay. All right. All right. So let's go to our Jenkins. I did create a pipeline. Call it CloudGuard Shiftleft pipeline that I'll build now. Okay. Let's have a look at the console. So the first step, obviously, is to check out all the files from GitHub, and automatically, as you can see here, the Shiftleft scanning has started to scan all the content of the GitHub directory. It's with repository. So Shiftleft code scan is a Git repository scanner. Okay, it only scans directory. It will not scan particular files. In this case, it also creates a project name and a scan ID. The recommendation is block. Why? Because it found some credentials, but as well as some other type of vulnerability. So there's a listing on all addresses and access, obviously AWS, and also there is two malware. So as you can see here, Shiftleft code scan is not just CVEs or credentials. It also detects malware. Okay, in this case, there is a backdoor and a Trojan that was injected into the source code. Okay. Now let's move to the next stage. To obviously the input will be, if you have a block, obviously you may want to not go on with the pipeline. I'm just illustrating what Shiftleft does. So Docker build will build the container image that is using the web app Node.js.source code, which is Node.js. So we run a Node.js application using a container image. And then as soon as that is done, the scanning of the container images start. As you can see, image scan. There's a timeout that I put. You could basically, the default timeout is not 100 seconds, but you could adjust the timeout. Okay, these are the results. There's a lot of results. So I'm basically using just a Node.js open source container from Docker Hub, the official image, by the way. my code, but I also injected some. Obviously, there was malware in the source code scan that were buried deep into the layers of the container. So as you can see, there's a lot. It finds a lot of CVEs, critical, high. Let me go up. Okay, so that's the container image. Okay, as you can see, it also found the malware that was in the source code, and the rest are critical CVEs, and the list is very long, very long, obviously. Okay. And a report will be obviously generated on the portal that we have at CloudGuard, the CloudGuard portal, to give you graphical representation of these results that you can use a graph to analyze further and filter out depending on severity, on malware, on CV, on CWE, on credentials, and so forth. Okay. As you can see here, this is obviously the power of the engine that basically uses that we use on the back end is ThreadCloud. Okay, and we'll obviously it's a block, but we'll proceed to go to the just to illustrate the Terraform scanner. So the Terraform scanner basically had an S3 bucket that I want to deploy, and here the rule to the policies example was to ensure that the S3 bucket had server-side encryption, which it didn't, and thus came up with an error saying obviously that the rule failed. That's false, and that is the end of our pipeline. So as you can see, Shiftleft can be integrated with CI/CD. I'll ensure the static code analysis of your code, of your container images, but as well as security posture management of your configuration policies in Terraform. So prior to even deploying resources using Terraform, using the code, you can basically ensure that the configuration is secure based on whatever rule or rule sets that you have defined in the CloudGuard security posture management tool. Okay, well, thank you very much, and I hope this was helpful. Bye.